Hey everyone, this is The Wounded Womb, and today I wanted to discuss why men like Martell Holt will never change. And to keep it simple, the long and short of it is they don't have to change. There will always be an insecure, lonely, desperate, naive, or young, or whatever woman that will be available to him because especially in Black society, because the vetting system has pretty much been destroyed, right? Where the fathers were once the individuals who these men would have to answer to. If a man was interested in if a man was interested in a woman, he traditionally had to go to the family to get approval. The family dynamic has been destroyed in the Black community for the most part. So there is no vetting process. These men can run through women with no consequences whatsoever. As a matter of fact, the women who are ran through, they're getting blamed for the men running through them, as opposed to the men being held accountable for being irresponsible, reckless, deceptive, destructive, hypocritical, and liars. And abusive at that. It's like there's no accountability. There's no system of accountability in the Black community when it comes to these men. The women aren't holding them accountable. The men aren't holding them accountable. Fathers are gone. The mothers are pygmies too. So they're like, you know what? Any old man will do. You better, dress up nice for him. Be as pretty as you can to attract a dusty, busted man. They won't give their daughters the game. The women won't. The mothers definitely won't. The mothers are more concerned about competing with their daughters so that the daughter can get caught up in the same mess as she did. So it's like these men are literally wolves and foxes in the hen house. They are running through the community like, I don't want to say terrorists, but they're running through the community like, emotional and physical terrorists. There's no way of holding them accountable for anything. So now they can go to the next woman who thinks that she's better than the last, right? Who thinks that she's more attractive, she's more loyal, she's more submissive. We see men like Nature Boy. Really? With a harem of women. We see men like Polite. What is going on? What is going on? Polite has two beautiful, quote unquote, wives, young, beautiful women. And, looks aren't everything. But to be a beautiful woman that settled for a broke, unattractive man, and then the man tells you you're still not enough for him. He needs more attention, more women, more bodies. You're not enough for him. But you're sacrificing your youth, your beauty, your body, your energy for this person just for him to tell you you're not enough for him. He needs more. Why would you do this? These men will never change. They don't have to change. There's always someone that's going to take their shit. Melody trained Martell and rewarded Martell for bad behavior. She did. He cursed her out. He treated her like shit. She still went back to him, gave him babies, gave him loyalty, gave him affection, time, attention, a successful business. She rewarded him for his bad behavior to the point where it conditioned him to believe that he was the prize when he actually wasn't. Melody Holt conditioned Martell to believe that he was the prize because she kept rewarding him for bad behavior. She never held him accountable for the things he was doing to her. Now, mind you, I'm not going to blame her for that completely because, again, she was married to him at that point. I think that Martell hid his fangs until after they got married. I'm not sure if he treated her like shit until after the wedding. Because Melody did not have to put up with that. They got married so quickly because narcs like to move so fast so that they don't have they don't have to cover up who they are for so long. With the love bombing phase, they will treat you like a princess. They'll give you everything you want. be attentive, be available for you at the ready. It doesn't matter. They're there with you every single day. They want all your time and your attention. And to a young woman like Melody, she probably saw that as love. Like, oh, he's really interested in me. But that was his way of locking her in, taking all her time, her free time and her energy so that she didn't have any other options. So then when she was locked down and trapped in that marriage, then he could show who he really was. And she had to put up with it because she just got married. She just got married when he started abusing her. So now she's leaving this, the marital home, going back and forth, going to a hotel, trying to escape from his abuse. And then she goes back to him. And this is going on for over a decade. And then she still has kids for him. He was conditioned to believe that this was happening because he was the prize. So now when Coleslaw comes along, who's an attractive woman herself, but she really doesn't have anything to offer but her body, he's going to treat her as if he's the prize too. But the problem that Martell had with Melody is that Melody was, she made him look small. Even though she went back to him and remained loyal to him, in his eyes and in the eyes of the public, he was still small compared to her because she had the business license, the builder's license, and he didn't. She was the CEO of the company and he wasn't. She had the acumen, the intellect, the skill, the knowledge to run a company as a mother, a beautiful woman at that, and he did not. So no matter how much he tried to bring her down and break her down and make her feel like she was less than, she still elevated herself. And that was his problem with her. But again, he didn't change his behavior because he didn't have to. So when she finally started switching up, he was like, well, why are you changing now? You must be cheating. No, he's just not used to dealing with the consequences of his behavior. Like most black men are not. They are rewarded for doing the bare fucking minimum. Women have to stop accepting any old piece of man just to say they have. How are you with Nature Boy as one of 10, 15 women in a dusty village? Why is that better than being by yourself? An abusive man at that. Abusive, broke, diseased, I heard. Crazy. And you sharing this for what? Why? Why? Are women so broken and destroyed and insecure that they are willing to put up with any old man just to say they have a man? Even though I've made mistakes in my dating past. I have never once felt like I was less than a man. Like, are you serious? Who are you? Who are you that I have to bow down and submit to you? Especially with no works, no receipts. For why I should have to do this? Like, you're not. Why would I exalt you over me? Who are you? Seriously. It makes absolutely no sense to me that these women who are beautiful, young, ambitious, successful, whatever, feel like that any piece of raggedy ass man is better than none. They'd rather have to go home, check their phones, look at their man's phones, look at their man's social media, have to hunt him down, spy on him, fight the next female for what are you fighting over? If a man makes me feel insecure, because I'm not an insecure person, he's the problem and I'm out. If I smell impropriety, I don't even need receipts. If I can sense some fuckery going on, I'm leaving at I'm not, what are you staying and waiting? I don't understand. Your peace of mind as a woman, as a human being, is paramount to everything and everyone. Anything or anyone that gets in the way of that, whether it's a job, a person, wherever you're living, a lifestyle, anything that disrupts your peace should be eliminated from your life or managed to the point where it does not have the same effect on you. A lot of these women out here have conditioned men. They've created their own Kevin Samuels. Why are women calling Kevin Samuels looking for his approval for what? What is Kevin Samuels? Kevin Samuels. Martell Holt likes to quote Kevin Samuels. And Kevin Samuels has a lot of power and influence because the stupid ass women who call his show are looking for his approval. The dumbass women on his show are looking for his approval. The women who call in, doesn't matter how they look, They're all calling and seeking, looking for a god, a male to worship. Why would you call in the show asking a man about how to get a man? Do you know how desperate and thirsty that makes you look as a woman? To call in a show where a man who has a history of verbally abusing women and denigrating them and asking for his help in getting a man. He's going to tell you that you have to subject yourself to some level of humiliation to get that. It's almost like a ritual. You know, the more he abuses women, Kevin Samuels, the more power he gets and the more empowered these men are and the less power these women feel. The less empowered these women are. Let me go to this man and ask for approval from a group of men who are dusty, disrespectful, have no accountability, no responsibility, no sense of humanity even, wanting to be treated like a king and a god, and you can't even be a human being. Why would these men change? They don't have to. There are always women that's going to take their behavior. Always. So no matter how many PSAs that women do, and I've seen, and I've witnessed this personally in my friend circle, family members, women complaining about men and how horrible they are, and the next week they're dating somebody else because they can't be by themselves, because they need that attention from any man. And there are plenty of, oh my God, it's so frustrating because it's like you can see the problem right in front of you, but it's almost like I can't stop the train. I can't stop the car wreck. I can see the cars coming toward each other to collide, and there's an accident waiting to happen, and I can see it happening from a mile away, and I can't stop it. So many of these women are willing to do anything just to be with a man. Why do they have to change? Coleslaw is happy with Martell doing whatever he wants to do. Not that she's happy in the relationship, but she's happy that some man is giving her attention. Doesn't matter what kind of attention it is. Doesn't matter what she has to pay and how much it costs her for that attention. Doesn't matter how many of her boundaries have to be disrespected and how much she has to disrespect herself for this attention. That does not matter. All it matters is somebody is looking at me with lust and desire and exalting me over somebody else. Falsely at that. Now I feel better about myself. It doesn't matter how dusty and disrespectful it is. And then these women feel good about themselves until they're discarded. And it goes back to square one. It all goes back to square one again. You're back to feeling like shit, like you ain't shit. In a lot of cases, men have to drag women into the pits of hell for the woman to learn to love herself first. Stop allowing yourself to be abused for male attention. Showing off your body on social media and Instagram is a form of abuse also, because you are essentially exposing yourself to being objectified by leering, disgusting men who do not deserve the right to look at your body and have access to it. A lot of these men are going to masturbate to your pictures, and you don't even know what kind of energy they have, what kind of demonic thoughts they have, what their proclivities are. These men are going to use your image and likeness to satisfy their own nasty fetishes and fantasies. You're also abusing yourself that way too. You have to restrict access to your body, your mind, your energy from these men. And yes, energy is a form of currency. Attention is a form of currency. I absolutely agree with that. But you have to, like they say, all money ain't good money. All attention ain't a good attention either. It's very frustrating. I can't even blame men like Martell for being who they are, because there's always going to be a woman that condones the behavior and endorses it and even promotes it, as long as he ain't doing it to her. There's a song from the 80s. And one of the lines of the song is, I don't care about those other girls, just be good to me. I think the name of the song is Just Be Good to Me. I don't know. I don't care what you do to them, just be good to me. This is a problem. So now you can dog out your sisters. He can dog out your sisters. He can dog out your community. He can dog out your village and turn it upside down as long as he treats you like a queen. Really? For now, temporarily, until he gets tired of you? Because it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. He's going to continue to be disrespectful to everybody in his circle. You're feeding, you're creating a monster. You are creating a monster by being loyal to him. When Polite first met his wives, I'm sure he wasn't as ravenous in his appetite for women as he is now. I'm sure when they first met, it was just him and her. But as his insecurities grew, as his incessant need for attention and adoration grew, as her loyalty and dedication and faithfulness to his wife, Amunet, as that grew, right, his appetite for debauchery and lasciviousness grew too. To now it's to the point where it's like a bottomless pit. She can't give him enough anymore because she blew him up so much. She fed him. It's almost like when a person is like 150 pounds, right? And in order for them to get to be 300 pounds, they got to eat all this food. They have to constantly eat food to get to 300 pounds. To maintain 300 pounds, you can't eat what you were eating when you were at 150 pounds. You have to constantly eat at the same caloric intake as you were to maintain 300 pounds. So the 150 pound relationship you had, that's not going to be enough. You need to have enough. You need to have more energy now. So the longer Coleslaw stays with Martell, the more he's going to need from her to stay satiated and satisfied in their relationship. This is Melody created the monster. I don't know. She didn't create the monster. His mother did. But Melody fed the monster and turned him into a goddamn Godzilla. Now his appetite is ravenous. He needs even more. Coleslaw is not going to be enough. She's not enough. He's still messing with a bunch of other women. And Coleslaw will still be there at his beck and call, allowing him to run through different women to destroy the soil, right? Like Taxstone used to say, you fucking up the soil, right? Messing up the women in your community, messing up your village. She's going to be okay with him doing that as long as he can use the energy he's siphoning from these women to give to her in their private time. That's what it's for. Do not allow these demons and sorcerers to use you as a source of energy for their fuckery and their bullshit. You have to cut off the head of the damn snake. Stop feeding it. Stop allowing yourself to be, lighted on like a parasite. Stop allowing yourself to be food for these people. Men and or women. This goes both ways too. Okay? So thank you guys for listening. Again, I'm sorry for yelling. I got so triggered by something I read this morning. It was just ridiculous how much these women put up with just for the sake of saying they have a man. It's never that serious. It is never that serious. A man's penis is never that serious. I don't understand what is... I cannot articulate this enough. No, I'm not a lesbian. There's nothing to do with that. But it's never that serious. Why? Who are you? Like, listen, ask yourself, who are you for me to be doing this for? Who are you to ask me to sacrifice who I am just to be with you? Are you doing that for me? Am I asking you to destroy your integrity and character just to be with me? Did I ask you to do that? So why are you demanding that of me? And for what in exchange? Some community peen? An STD? A baby? What am I getting in exchange for sacrificing my humanity for you? And my self-respect and self-esteem? What am I getting out of it? Women, stop doing this, please. I'm asking you, and like I said, my words will fall on deaf ears because there are thousands of content creators and YouTubers and social media posts that are warning women about the dangers of sacrificing yourself at the altar of men. When you sacrifice one thing for another, you're essentially saying, I'm giving my life force and my energy to you because you are in an exalted position over me. You're better than me. You're more deserving of life than I am. God brought me here on this planet to serve you. That's essentially what you're saying as a woman. And if that's the case, then have at it. And don't complain when your ass gets chewed up and discarded for the next piece of meat when there's no more life in you left, because that's the next step. I promise. Like clockwork. It never fails with these men. Okay? Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. I would love to read your comments about what I just stated. And I will talk to you guys soon.